In this video, we're going to be talking about how to improve in Fortnite for beginners. I made a practice map about a year ago called Jivan's practice map, and it was pretty limited. There were only like 4 drills. But we officially just released Jivan's practice map version 3, and this has everything you need to go from a beginner to a pro mechanically. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you some of the most useful drills in this map that are a bit more complicated. But before I get into those drills, let me just give you a quick tour of the map. This first room is the one that we're probably going to spend the most time in this video on. It's called the guided free build room. We completely redid this, and now it is basically a high ground retake trainer. So I'm going to teach you all the high ground retakes that everybody should know in those drills. The second room is perfect for beginners. It's just a simple edit course room. If you're brand new to the game, struggle with the controls, this is a great place to just get simple edits down and work your way up to the more complicated ones such as quad edits. The next room is the headshot box fight room. This room has one orb that is floating around. What you want to do is try to set up safe peaks on it. You can practice building towards it while blocking your angles, but always set up a nice safe peak. Anytime you kill it, the builds will reset. Next room is the aim training room. There are tons of aim trainer drills in this map. From long range to flick shots to close range tracking, all kinds of stuff. You can track your scores and gain XP by doing this. My boy Danoploid has worked so hard on this and it turned out so good. Basically Kovacs in Fortnite. The next drill is always going to be my all-time favorite. It is the free build with bots room. The way it works is you build up to the bots. Anytime you shoot one, another one spawns higher up. So you can practice your piece control, peak shots, and free building all in one. But to make it better, we have speed options so you can practice in slow motion to focus on consistency, or fast motion to speed up your edits. There's also an option to make the bots shoot back, so if you set up a bad peak or expose yourself in your free builds, the bot is gonna shoot you. Gotta be one of the best rooms in any practice map out there. Definitely try that one out. Next up is the reactive tunneling drill. This one, the goal is to just stay inside the circle. There's a difficulty option in the bottom right where you can make the circle move faster. If you stay in the circle long enough, you'll win the drill. But if you don't know how to tunnel, just wait until later in this video. I'm going to be teaching everything you need to know. The final room is rapid piece control. We worked on this drill so much. In rapid piece control, you get thrown into drills, and if you don't build the angle of the enemy fast enough, you're going to get hit. Also, if you don't set up a good enough peak, you're also going to get hit. Before, that was the entirety of the drill, but now we added some extra spice to it. You can turn on survival mode and select different difficulties. For example, you can do the 1 HP mode where if you get hit once, you're done. It'll keep track of how many bots you kill, and you'll get XP based on how difficult of a mode you were playing and how many bots you killed. So basically, it's a survival piece control drill. Pretty cool. So that's the entirety of the map. With that being said, let's hop in and talk about how you do the retake rooms. So let's head on over to the guided free build room. We're going to start out with the reactive side jumps. This drill is probably the most self-explanatory one. You're just running up this ramp and you're supposed to react when these cones spawn above you. You want to quickly react and side jump around it and build a wall here and piece control the target and take the shot. And then you just start going up again. So if you're just a beginner, I would recommend simply landing on a floor and then building this wall. But the next step is maybe start sprinting while doing it. And when you side jump, build the wall while you're in the air. You saw how I build the wall first and then build the floor? That's the next step you can take. Another step you can take is when the cone spawns above you, build a wall first before jumping. That makes it so when you jump here, this wall is already built and you have protection right away. Side jumps have a lot of different ways of doing them safely, but start out simple and work your way up. The next thing you can do is start edit coursing while going up as if you're in an actual build fight. When you see the cone, side jump around. And once you're able to do this at full speed, that's when you know you got this drilled down. Being able to build and quickly react and do those side jumps. So the Clix Jump, this is a move where if you're ramp rushing towards the enemy, like you're both ramping up, starting a fight. By doing a Clix Jump, you can get up an extra layer, which gives you an advantage in the fight. It'll give you a better chance of getting the high ground. So the way this works is you first extend ramps up this way, as if you're ramp rushing towards the enemy in this direction. But you connect to this ramp by placing a floor and a ramp, and then another floor and ramp here. That gets you up an extra layer in the same amount of time, and if you get it down while sprinting, that'll just give you that extra advantage in a build fight. So start out slow, try to get the rhythm of it down, you know? Think, oh, okay, I go this way, and then this way. Extend out, this way, and this way, and slowly try to speed it up with time. Next up on the list is the sway retake, and this is one of the most important retakes to know in the game. Starts out by placing a ramp, you swing walls above you and to the side, and a ramp on top. This blocks the side angle, front angle, and top angle. The only angle I'm leaving open is this right side, but you can choose to block the right if you know the enemy's on that direction. So the way it works is you just go through this tunnel and you block all the walls that are blue. So now we're blocking the right side when before we were blocking the left. And every now and then it's going to tell you to switch directions with this arrow. You just edit out the side in that case. This is a great place to get down some variety with this retake and just get comfortable doing it. Once you get to the end, you'll get 1 point, and as you can see, it's now glowing, and if you get all of them glowing by completing them one time, you'll get XP. Next up on the list is tunneling. So what I recommend doing is starting out by placing floors above you and below you, and then walls off to the side, and just running through the tunnel like this. When placing the side walls, it's important to tap and then tap again when you're over here. If you hold it the whole time, you're gonna end up placing that front wall too, which is fine. You only wanna build the front wall though if you know there's enemies in front of you trying to spray you. That's called a full tarp if you're building all the walls, including the front wall. But for now, I would recommend just practicing placing the side walls and the top floor and bottom floor. There are other tunnels in the game, for example, the triangle tunnel. This is good for when you're trying to save mats. Maybe you're on the front edge of zone, just tarping forward slowly. This can help you save some extra builds while tunneling forward, but it's not very protective. If somebody sprays in from this side, you're probably just dead. So I usually don't do this tarp unless I know I'm in a safe spot to do so and just try to conserve some mats. Once you get this tunneling down, you could head over to the reactive tunneling drill, which we talked about earlier. This will just give you a place to practice tunneling while also having to react to the direction of the arrow. So you just start out by walking onto the circle, follow it until the arrow appears, and then you start tarping in the direction of the arrow. It's gonna change directions, go straight sometimes, sometimes right, sometimes left. Great place to practice getting reactive tunneling down. Back over to the retake rooms. Next we have cone flips. This starts to get a little bit tricky. The way a cone flip works is you place a cone, flip the cone up, grab it with a wall. If I didn't build that wall, the cone would break, and then you place another cone on top. Once you're here, you grab the cone edit, reset, and then do the next edit. So this is what it looks like in full speed. There's different ways to do cone flips. Another way to do it is placing the walls first and then flipping the cone. So it looks like this, placing the walls, flip up, place walls, flip up. This can be a bit more protective, but it can also be a little bit harder. Another way you can do this drill is by doing ramp flips instead of cone flips. So you would do kind of like the sway retake, just like in one of those previous drills, and then you flip this ramp, do the sway retake again. So you swing walls up, ramp on top. Walls up, ramp on top. It does the same exact thing, you know, it gets you up layers safely. It's just a different way to go about it. This is definitely good to get down because if you're doing that sway retake in the other drill, so let's say you're just going up like this, and then out of nowhere, you're like, oh, the enemy's like right up there. Maybe I just flip this ramp, and then boom, I have piece control opportunity on them. The last drill is the misdirection drill. This one basically just practices changing directions while doing retakes. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. If you're just starting out, maybe just put a cone at the top here and jump and do that 180. Just start out by doing like single edits. But once you get more advanced, you can move it into a double edit, just like this. And you can even start doing triple edits and just kind of add and add and add. The more you add to this, the more complicated it gets, but also the better practice it becomes. Like, you're never gonna see me doing all these edits in an actual game, but by getting this down and getting comfortable doing all these edits, it makes it easier to do the simple stuff later on. Like, let's say I was in endgame and there's somebody on this wall here. If I don't build a floor and cone above me, they could edit and put that cone and then I'm just trapped here. But by placing that floor and cone, I can double edit up, get out, and then boom, set up a peak. And by doing a drill like this, I get comfortable doing those more simple edits compared to what I'm doing right now. So long story short, you should just be trying to push yourself, try to get comfortable doing things that are harder than you would normally practice, and that'll help you get better overall. So that's all the retake drills in this map. If you can master all those, you'll be much better set to win 1v1s in an actual game. But you might be wondering, you know, how do you actually apply this stuff to an actual game? The best way to transfer these skills into an actual game is just by doing 1v1s, zone wars, box fights, all different kinds of other PvP style creative maps. Just treat this map as a warm-up map, practice skills that you're not confident with in this map at the start of the day, and then move into the other things that you want to practice. That's pretty much what this map is. It's a warm-up map to get your mechanics warm, practice new things, but at the end of the day, the only way you're going to get better at the actual game is by playing the actual game and fighting other players. I hope this video helps you guys out. I have lots of other really useful creative maps down in the description. More content on the way, so stay tuned and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.